What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology. The Titans action spawning in the right side of the map in the blue color, playing as Zeus. Game number 3 between these two players. They are training. We are training everyone for the Champions League tournament. These are training games. Yes, it is Eric playing as Zeus, blue color. His opponent today in the red color playing as Oranos. His name is More. And the map, for those of you playing at home, if you were not a viewer of the Pandora's box and you are looking for some more content, I do recommend going back. There's a playlist, all the games are there. This map was a part of Pandora's box and was one of the more kind of interesting competitive maps from Pandora's box called Sheltered Pass. What makes this game really, really interesting is that all the hunt is very far forward. All the gold mines are very far forward. It's a really, really aggressive map here. And there is also another interesting proponent of this map, which we haven't really seen taken advantage of all too much, in that there is cliffs in the center of the map. If we take a quick look, you can see that you could very easily, with 2 walls, make this a very, very defensive map here in the early game. We haven't really seen that strategy employed with people going for early walls at all, but it's definitely something that you could think about at some point in this game, at the very least, if you can survive all of the early aggression that is possible here. So we'll see how things are going to go. Personally, in this map, in this matchup, I really quite like. I really quite like going Athena here with Zeus. I think Athena is really, really good because there's so much hunt and it's so easy to defend this center hunt here. And you can grab these giraffe, 5 giraffe, these giraffe over here, 5 giraffe, defend it very, very easily against an Oranos player having like Hippocon hoplite kind of type army with Toxotes coming in a little bit later as well. As the villagers coming over here onto the granary, seeing what they can do. Relics have been uncovered as well. We do have the Tusk of the Iron Boar. This one makes the Athena Hoplite Hippocon strategy even stronger here. So this is really, really interesting. You can also go Centaur. Centaur are definitely going to be a possibility here, though. I think for the most part, you've got to be fairly concerned about getting pushed off of hunt with Centaur. They're a little bit too slow. You have to defend your hunt. It can be very, very difficult for Zeus to be dealing with that against the Atlantean, especially because there's just so much hunt here for the Oranos player to like go things like mass Murmillo, just 2 military barracks kind of thing at the start, and it can be very tough for the Centaur player to make that work, as we do see. Moore also decided to jump onto these berry bushes instead of moving forward here. There's chickens as well in the main base, but going into the berry bushes, he's going to want to jump over onto the wood line a little bit later as well, as we see the temple coming down. It's going to be a 4:30 advance time from Moore. 4:30 advance time most likely coming through for Eric here, as his temple is going to be coming up. He's well on the way here. His food should be able to come through in time, as he has built a granary on this. He has finished up on the gazelle over there. But it looks like he's going for a 4:45, so a little bit slower. Might find himself having some difficulties here, as we do see Prometheus is coming through. Wouldn't be surprised to see a mana coming down. Will we see a cheeky Jason out? No Jason. He wants to advance. Okay, so we are seeing Hermes. And this is a fast second town center from Eric here. This is a fast second town center from Eric. He's going 5 villages on wood. He's going for 5 villages on gold at this point, which is how you know. At least there's 6 villages on these resources. This is going to be really, really scary here for both players. I personally think that this is a potentially too greedy of a play here on this map. Though with this gold mine back here, this town center being grabbed, could be possible here for Eric to make this work. But you have to remember that going to town center on this map means that all of the hunt becomes Moore's. Moore's going to be able to eat this giraffe, these rhino here as well are potentially going to be Moore's, as well as the rhino that are over here as well. So we'll see how it's going to go as the military barracks getting dropped over here. Do we see another military barracks somewhere? We do not. It's just going to be the one. Potentially Moore is planning on getting himself a second town center himself very, very early here as Eric starts sending villagers over onto this location. There is already an Oracle spotting this one out. More villagers moving over here as well as we see the Odysseus coming in. We've got the Jason, we've got the Centaur, we've got the Odysseus, we've got Ceasefire. This town center will not be able to get stopped too easily here, but we will be seeing Promethean Offspring being able to get a little bit of damage done over onto these Zebra on this location as well. As the Promethean Offspring comes forward, Sandar gets one shot. Promethean says, ouch, 15 HP remaining. Tusk of the Iron Boar should definitely be clicked here and picked up, as we do see that's what Eric is going to be grabbing. What was this relic over here? Tower of Cestus. This isn't a bad relic either, especially against fast 2 town center plays from the Greek player. Things like towers are actually a really important thing that Oranos players don't often add into their play, especially I think this gives bonus damage, not just to towers. I thought maybe it was bonus damage to palace, but you can often add towers into your position a little bit later and see how things are going to go. We do see a very, very interesting comment here from DOD's Sigma in the chat that Eric's woodlines are actually not that great here, and he's kind of right. This woodline over here, you might get shockwaved here, lose a couple of villages or something like that. This one back here, I think with some nice building placement, this woodline will be fairly safe. Building placement here, getting some military buildings over here, and then a wall onto this should be completely fine here for Eric. Now the big question is, we did see a counter barracks getting thrown up, but how many units is Moore going to build before he decides to build himself a second town center here? Or is he just going to be staying one town center and going full aggro here is the big question. As Moore is going to be retreating back. We'll see how things will end up as Eric has decided to retreat off that hunt before it's finished. He's got a couple of goats left in his base, 7 goats. He's got himself berries. He does have chicken over here as well. A very small amount of food in his base, but probably enough for him to just get himself watchtowers, play super defensive, and see how things are going to go here. But we do see the hero Milo sitting back here looking to grab that relic. Not getting it just yet. Still no second towns, and they're still pumping units out. A little bit housed at the moment. This is often what happens. So long as you don't get housed on your citizen, then you are playing Atlantean correctly. The aim is get to population, make sure your citizen gets out, build the house, so next citizen comes out, and then you're completely fine. You're completely fine. Obviously, getting the mana down a little bit earlier is optimal before you get to 99% on the army, but in the end, it's not that big of a deal. As we see wall segments coming up, we've got the watchtowers is up. Eric playing super defensively. Walls coming up over here to try and defend these chicken as well. And look at the resources here for Eric. This macro, Eric is showing his Zeus main, and this is kind of one of the things that we don't talk about so a lot, is the in-depth knowledge of what playing a main god in terms of your macro ends up becoming when you play these really intricate strategies of like fast second town centers. It's super important to know exactly where you need to put your villages for a period of time. And this isn't something that you can really learn from build orders. This is something that learns from feel, from playing so many games, from watching so many games of your main god. As you do see more now moving through here, Eric not paying attention, going to be garrisoning his villagers back into the town center. Will we see any villagers getting picked off here? Answer is yes. One villager down, one Murmillo down. Villagers dropping in and out of this town center here. Going to be starting to shank these units away, getting them out from underneath this town center. Beautiful. I think I would have preferred this farm to be placed in the back and a military building getting thrown over here, as Eric is deciding to send a little bit of stuff over here. He does pick off some units in the middle there. They're losing his Centaur as he's retreating back. As Eric maybe trying to do a little bit too much here in this game. Again, farms going down. This is maybe something that doesn't matter that much, but putting your farms on the back side of your town center is a really, really smart way to play against Oranos. And then on the front side of your town center, you just put military buildings. Wait, was that? Did I see that correctly? No, I didn't. I didn't see that correct. I thought maybe more was in the heroic age here. As the army coming back in, it could be worth it to just click ceasefire at this point here for Eric, as there's just so many units out for more. More is just going full send, and we do see the ceasefire getting dropped here And now more sitting at 115 population. Eric is going to be in a fairly good position to get a lot more resources coming through, but he needs to be very careful about what he does here. One option could be to just move these villagers back into the main base and keep them alive at, say, maybe like 15 seconds remaining here. Just retreat back into the main base with all these villagers. But we'll see how things are going to go as the ceasefire slows play down for just a little bit. Looks like Moore was deleting units, I think, to get out Citizen. No, he's cut Citizen. More cut Citizen. He's going to be going to the next age here. Does he have an armory up? Yes, he does. So he's going to be going to the next age through Hyperion. No, he wants Thea here. An interesting decision. He decides Thea over Hyperion. This is the first time we've seen this. He's gone Hyperion in this matchup every single time. So deciding to shake things up. Thea does give a lot of advantages in the dryads that can be built out of your Hesperids tree, which are effectively free population, an extra 15 population possible to be built in the dryads. Effectively, their stats are worth about 3 population, in my opinion. You could say it's 2 population, but I'm closer to the 3 population than the 2, as one military academy does get taken out, and Eric is just trying his best to delay as much as he possibly can here, sitting underneath this town center with those farms here, as Eric retreating back into his main base. One option for Eric could be to start throwing towers up over here as well. We see a house coming down as this gold mine is going to start getting pushed in. No walls around on this watchtower here, as Eric has not defended his base to the best of his ability here. Thea comes through. Moore is going to be looking ahead to the Mythic Age as well, as he's getting himself heavy infantry first. You have to remember all of the hunt on this map is absolutely huge, as the hoplites coming through are going to be getting in onto those Terma on the back, going to be able to do tons of damage to those, as the Murmillo here are here moving through here onto this position, chasing those center around. One Murmillo here able to not only pick off a center but also prevent the DPS from coming through for quite some time here, as Eric has managed to defend for the time being as heavy Murmillo comes through, but the fight is over. And we do see a palace coming down onto this position as Moore is trying to put a significant amount of pressure over here. That palace will get up in the end of the day, but it's going to be at a very, very low HP after all is said and done here. As Valor gets dropped down, palace slowly but surely coming through, as we see the Stymphalian bird going to be coming in. Very, very huge unit to be able to use against Centaur and take that one down. And Moore now has himself the palace, 500 HP remaining. We'll have to repair this one back up. And he's going to continue to put pressure in onto this position over here, going after the town center. Eric sitting at 104 of 130 population here. He should be able to defend this in all honesty, though. The palace is going to be a very difficult thing to overcome as well. As the Odysseus tries to take down the Dryad over here. Arcus going after the Odysseus. Town Center getting bashed down. Shockwave getting dropped down here as well. Destroyer starting to come through as the Town Center is going to be going... the Town Center will basically fall here, I would have to assume. But it looks like Eric is defending this completely fine. He's at 63 villagers at this point. He can more than happily take villagers off of resources here and start shanking as well. Still no upgrades for his hoplites here, but I don't think it matters at this point. And not only that, losing this palace, there's a Hesperids tree here that can be getting stolen here as the villagers trying to repair this one back up. No masons coming through just yet. We've got 2 heavy destroyers in at this point, and Eric here is sitting at 96 population. I'm not sure where his units are, kind of sitting outside of the fight at this point, but he's definitely in front at this location here. He does not want to be losing this. Just take the villagers, start shanking these destroyers down, and that's exactly what Eric's going to be going for. I know he's going for the repair to try and keep this position alive here, and the town center does end up falling after all is said and done. More here, he's sitting at 19 citizen. Is he still building citizen? Yes, he is. He's getting himself a second town center up as well, trying to push through here as the Stymphalian bird coming in to try and take out the other centaur as these destroyers retreating back for the time being. Destroyers still coming out. We're going to be seeing the Arcus destroyer composition, a very, very scary composition for sure. And here's the thing, taking this town center down doesn't just deal 700 resources worth of damage to Eric. It deals 700 plus 9 times 75, which is about 600, was about 700 resources. So you're losing out on 1,400 resources by losing this town center here, which is absolutely huge here. So, and Moore knew that, and that's why he committed so heavily to this attack. But while I'm saying all of that, Eric is still sitting at 60 villages. He's still very much in this game, economically speaking. But he needs to rebuild all these farms. He needs to get, maybe these villages don't need to be gathering so much gold at this point, but maybe he's just doing that as a preemptive precaution here. But now with the Arcus here sitting at 20 range, this is something that Oranos players probably could do a little bit more of, is take advantage of that range against this kind of hoplite Toxotes army. And we're seeing exactly that from Moore here, pushing forward, taking down houses and all the other good stuff over here. Still needs to be building a couple more of those Dryads out, but he will be getting those down. Odysseus going to be getting taken down very, very fast here by the Arcus to allow those Dryads to get all the damage done that they need to be getting done here. As those destroyers here, you kind of want to be just moving them to attack the Toxotes. No sense in having them kind of in front of the hoplites, but we do see that Eric has to retreat back here, and Eric is just not able to hold on at this point. He's going to be getting pushed off of this gold very, very shortly here as well, still deciding to turn around and take these fights. But Eric here just does not have the resources. He's got no upgrades on the economy, so he's not getting a huge amount of wood income at all to maybe throw down some towers or something like that. But Eric is just continuing, Moore is just continuing to push in, continuing to put pressure on. Eric does have 857 gold in the bank, so he can stay alive for just a little bit longer here. And we'll see how it's all going to go. But here's the thing. We haven't seen these giraffe getting eaten by Moore. He's kind of made a mistake here throwing these farms down. In fact, he's stealing his opponent's farms here, which is absolutely hilarious. But yep, that's a thing that's possible as well. The other thing he could do is if he starts to lose these fights, he could delete these farms. But it looks like Eric cannot hold on here in this game. Eric says, "You lucky man." I don't know what he means by deleted Vil, and he bolted a Promethean, but that's not luck. That's misclicking. That's misplay. So I guess he's lucky in some sense that Eric has misplayed where that's concerned. But a really, really nice execution here from Moore, really displaying a very different way to deal with a far second town center from Greek here. Oftentimes we see Atlantean players go 2 town centers, 3 town centers as a response to the 2 town center Greek play. But Moore just says, no, I'm going to go for 1 town center semi-fast heroic, or just a 1 town center heroic, which is effectively 115 population, then the heroic age. Put a lot of pressure onto his opponent with that heroic age timing. Get a second town center after that, and just keep putting pressure on. I do think had Eric pulled villages, because he was so far in front on the villager count, he would have been able to hold here very easily, especially when that palace came up. Just pulled the villages, shanked the palace down, pushed forward with, like, say, 10 to 15 villages, maybe 20 villages, push forward, and that would have stopped all of this pressure from mounting, and Moore probably would not have been able to take this town center down at all, let alone the chance that he had. But even then, a little bit later, there was an opportunity for Eric to pull villages. He was floating like 600, 700 gold. If he pulled 10 villages off the gold mine, pushed forward, 10 villages off this location here, or off the food, and pushed forward, he probably would have been able to take this position back and been completely fine here in this game, but did not manage to do it. If you guys enjoyed this one, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next game.